Okay, so now I'm looking at page 671, number 5. If the speed limit is decreased by 10 kilometers on a 100-kilometer stretch of a highway, the trip will take half hour longer than usual. What is the usual or the normal speed limit? So I let that be my unknown because that's the question being asked. Okay, so if the lower speed limit would then be R minus 10. So the slower speed limit. Okay, so now we know that there's a 100-mile stretch that we're comparing. Okay, so we're comparing them, but we're comparing the times. Now, if you remember, D equals R times T, but I can transform that formula, so D over R equals T. Gives me the distance and the time in terms of the distance and the rate. So if for the normal speed limit, my distance is 100 over R, okay, so this is the normal speed limit, and the slower speed limit would then be 100 over R minus 10. Okay, so now we go back to the question, and it says, if the speed limit is decreased, so the slower speed limit, then the normal speed limit, it would take a half hour longer going at the slower speed. So I'm going to add 1/2 to this equation to balance the equations. Okay, so now it's a rational expression or a rational equation. So I need to, number 1, write down my domain. So my domain is R cannot be 0 and R cannot be 10. And then I know my LCD in this case would then be, ooh, this is an ugly one, 2R times R minus 10. Okay, so now I'm going to multiply the entire equation by that LCD. So 2R times R minus 10. Sorry, my hand's in the way. All right, so if I multiply R minus 10, this whole quantity to the first term, the R minus 10s are going to cancel. I'm going to get 2R times 100. I'm going to put that 100 in parentheses. Equals. The R's will cancel, so I'm going to get 2R minus 20 because I distributed, right, times 100. Plus, the 2's are going to cancel, so I would get R squared, R squared minus 10R. Okay, so let me simplify this. We get 2R times 100, which gives me 200R. Let me stand up so you can see this a little better. And then I'm going to distribute my 100 here, and I'm going to get 200R minus 2,000 plus R squared minus 10R. All right, let me move this up a little bit for me. All right, so now these 200R's are going to cancel, aren't they? So now I have 0 equals. Now I'm going to put this in standard form, so that means descending order by exponent. And now I see it as a quadratic equation, and it is set equal to 0, so I solve by factoring. So I need the factors of 200, or 2,000, that are 10 away from each other. So let's think about that for a second. I'm thinking 40 and 50, because I saw that 20, and that was like 4 and 5. So R minus 50, R plus 40, and I'm going to move the 0 using the symmetric property to the other side. So R equals 50, why did I change? And R equals negative 40. Well, we know rate can never be negative, so that's not it. So our rate of the original speed limit is going to be 50 kilometers an hour. Okay? Hopefully that was helpful.